Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is Fight Talk with the BMAs. I'm joined by my boy K West, G-Man out here. We're gonna talk some fights and some
Oh, yes,
life
we are.
and whatever, man. K West, how you doing, brother? You good?
Oh man, I'm real good. I'm real good. What a week, man. What
Mm.
so much news.
So much news. Well,
Oh,
fight news, yeah, for sure. Yeah, fight news.
everything,
Yeah.
everything. How like my week's been fantastic. How's yours?
My week's been
Couldn't have
good.
said better.
Good. Yeah. First week back in Dubai, just settled, like getting my feet back on the
Yes,
ground.
yes.
Finally sorting out. I think finally enjoying things. You know what? This weekend was actually awesome, bro, because we actually went out and done some stuff in Dubai, like touristy type of things. Like I Googled
Yeah.
the best 50 things to do for free in Dubai.
Oh
Like, you know,
wow.
like because
Yeah,
paid
yeah,
stuff I'm
yeah.
gonna do with my family and friends when they come. But I was like free, unique things that you could do in
Mm,
Dubai. We went and saw some
mm,
old
mm,
arty stuff. I don't know, some art stuff and whatnot.
mm,
We
mm.
went out for dinner in some random areas. I'm like, let's just go to areas we don't know. I don't mind driving to
Mm.
them. Let's go see some
Yeah,
cultural
yeah,
shit. Like,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
was our first weekend to do something, and I was like, this was awesome. I loved it. So yeah, man, we're gonna do that every week. Like, we're like, how do I put it? Like every Saturdays we start off with like a random coffee shop. So we Googled like best 50, 100 coffee shops. So we go to a random coffee
Mm,
shop, wherever it is. I don't care about
mm.
location. I'll drive there. And from there, we go to a random touristy thing, whatever this whatever this page tells us to. Again, I don't care about location. We just go. And I've said this before, even if it's a freaking lamppost, I'm gonna go look at the lamppost. I just want to go there and check it out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
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 man, we're
yeah,
doing
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
which feels good finally because it's been a long time trying to settle in Dubai. But yeah, man,
Settle
that's it. And
down.
then just clean it, man. Freaking, I got a garden with hit my comics. I've got a garden with my grass and whatnot. I was telling you about, and
Yes, you did.
cleaning, man. I don't know. I got into this thing where I started like YouTubing like how to clean grass. Yeah, like how to clean grass and all this. I bought all these chemicals
Yeah.
from Amazon. I bought this spray
It's like a
thing. I
flea
look like
market.
fucking
Oh,
Ghostbusters and shit, spraying all this stuff.
wow.
But I got into it. I just got into it. I was like, man, I'm gonna get like not just no basic clean. I'm like going in.
Yeah. Deep
And then
cleaning.
after it was done, the grass looked fresh and like it's fake grass. I mean, it's not real grass. It's fake artificial. You gotta maintain it, right? Outdoors, you gotta maintain it. Fucking cat shitted on it last week, so you gotta clean that stuff, and cats might piss on it and
Oh,
whatnot. So you gotta maintain it. But it looked greener, and I was
oh.
like, oh, this it felt good. You know what I mean? Like a little satisfaction of all of that work.
You
Um,
know what? You know what's so funny about this? I remember like I thought it was fake real grass the whole time, and then you said it's fake, and it reminded me of somebody who has a toupee. They got that's it, you know.
telling you
They
about
got
the
a
maintenance of my hair, and they're like, it's fake, by the way, but
yeah,
still, like,
yeah.
but
Then
still,
they'll just,
there's a lot of work to be done. Like honestly, even though it's fake grass, like you gotta clean
uh,
it, and fucking birds shit on it, and little things go all over it, and like I said,
oh, I
there are
see. Yeah,
pests
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatnot,
yeah.
so you gotta just kind of maintain it. And I really got into this whole thing, and I was like, let's go, man. So as weird as it sounds, I just got into it. I was like, all right, once a month I gotta do this deep clean on the grass. And it didn't feel like a chore. It just felt like, oh, I have to do this. I don't know, a responsibility, I guess. Um,
You really settling into this new world that you're in, isn't it? And that's what we do.
that's
That's what
what
we
we
do.
do,
We
man.
adapt.
Yeah, I mean, when I left 8 years ago, bro, man, I lived at home, right? And mom's always
Mm,
there looking
mm,
after
mm.
me and whatnot. And yes,
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
responsibilities like work responsibilities and bill, but normal housework, I would be a lazy punk, man, really. And then when I moved out, I had to learn certain shit, and like you just get into routine of it, man. Like, it's weird, like just getting routine to it, and you just build a little. How do I pull it? Like you Google and YouTube little tips and tricks, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy that
Mm,
and do this and just get into
mm,
shit,
mm,
man.
mm,
So
mm.
it's been
Yeah.
interesting. It's been fun. It's been fun. What about yourself, bro? How you been? How's the week been?
Um, week's been all right. It's been like fairly quiet. Obviously, first week that the strikes have kind of eased up, so things are running like a bit more normally. Um, yeah, like I said, started that new job, and that's been going fine. Everyone seems to enjoy what I bring to the table, which is cool. So that's nice. And now just trying to capitalize on that space in which I can double up. and do both things. So go to work, then do my other stuff as well. So have like 3 very busy days, and then maybe 2 very, less so busy days. But yeah, obviously I'm just kind of doing everything like that and getting ready for Thailand, and then like adding on little bits and pieces I need to work out in regards to logistics and things, because it's real close now. It's getting a lot closer, and I'm like, shit, I need to like look at these things. And a friend of mine wanted to come as well, and because a whole lot of other things may have changed my plans completely. I was like, I don't want you to commit to this because I'm a bit crazy at the moment. So yeah, like it was kind of I don't know, like another reason to just be like, okay, this is my trip and I'm gonna run this race myself. Even
Yes,
though it'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
nice to have someone come with me, because I'm like, it's a new experience. But at the same time, like that was the original plan, to go find myself. Um, so yeah, it's kind of like the countdown, like I only have like a month and some change left and I'm out, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
so
And how long are you
yeah,
going
that's
for
what
again?
it is. 2 months.
Damn, 2 months. Shit, I know you
Mm,
told me this, but for some reason it didn't register 2 months. Yeah. Well, look, I agree with you, bro. Like when you've planned it for yourself, and then of
mm,
course loved ones or friends or whatever coming with you would be awesome. But when you've kind of planned it yourself and you're like, yep, I'm
mm,
gonna go do this, and then someone's like, oh, can I come along? You're just kind of like bit hesitant. I'm a bit hesitant
uh,
to that. I'm like, let me just do my thing. Even as bad as this sounds, I'm talking about simple things. Like I want to go cinema, and someone's like, can I come? I'm like, I kind of committed to go by myself. I like going cinema. I'm using that as I
mm,
like going by myself, right?
mm, mm,
But
mm,
Marvel
mm,
movies,
mm,
sorry,
mm.
comic book movies are the ones. Like when the movies come out on a Thursday, you know me, I'm a geek, obviously with the Brothers Geek Out podcast,
Big
right?
time, big time.
I want to go on a Thursday when the movie comes out, and when someone's like, "Oh, bro, but
Ah,
wait for me. Can we go together?" No, I feel very uncomfortable. We'll go together after. I need to go on Thursday by myself. Let me do my thing. You know what I mean? I've already mentally said it, so I can imagine for a big trip like this, you're like, "Let me just do this by myself, please." You know what I mean? Like it's important. So
mm,
I'm excited. So you're gonna
it is.
travel around, or you're gonna stay in one location?
Well, just before I get into that, I think initially it was a bit of the fear of traveling alone, and then I was kind of open to saying, "Oh, maybe we could, or I should meet you." But then I kind of got over that. So that was the main thing about that. People were saying it, but I was open to it because I was more like fearful of going by myself, and now I've kind of made peace with that. So. But yeah, anyway, staying in Chiang Mai for most of it, because that's where all the training is. Gonna do some Muay Thai like we spoke about,
Yeah, it's
working
gonna
on
be
my
sick.
stretches, getting my groin nice and loose because I don't want them to break my shit.
I'm sure in Thailand they can help you get your going loose, bro.
Yeah, they can, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to like, kind of thread thread the needle a little bit, Um, so I'm doing that as well. I'm trying to work on my Thai. Like I got like an app to just work on some things, so I'm not so like lost out there. Um, and then yeah, anyway, so as I was saying, the training, the all of that will be in Chiang Mai, and then the Songkran Festival, which is the spring festival, which a lot of Southeast Asia celebrate. It's the turn of spring, so a lot of water and water being thrown, more water and water and more water. Like water guns and water bombs and throwing water from a bucket. That's what happens in the streets of like Bangkok and Koh Sang Road and all this. So so I'm thinking I'll go down to the south, like Koh Phangan, Koh Phi Phi, where they shot the beach. Go over there. Maybe they'll have some of those like lanterns that they'll. I don't know, man. Like
Amazing,
a whole lot of
amazing.
crazy shit. So I'm thinking of doing that in that downtime, and I probably will go back and do some more training afterwards. Um, but yeah, I've kind of left things really open and free flowing because I didn't want to commit to something and be very strict and rigid in my approach with it. So I just set the beginning of the first kind of chapter of it, a little bit of the second chapter at the beginning, and then the rest of it I'm just gonna free flow and freestyle and see how it goes.
Awesome. I think that's the best way, bro. Especially a trip so long. If it was a short 2 week trip, then I'd be like, you got to fit in as much as you can. But
Boom, 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 boom,
something
boom.
two
Yeah.
months, I mean, yeah, man, don't have a routine, man. Enjoy it, man. I mean, these things don't come up often, you know what I mean? To be going away for 2 months and just, doing whatever you want to do, especially in an amazing place like Thailand. So, man, that's gonna be epic, bro. You're
Mm.
gonna love it. Hopefully, I mean, again, no pressure. Hopefully, we get time to do this still. I want you to
Oh
go do
man,
your
we're gonna
thing,
do it.
but if we can find our
We're gonna
time
do
to
it.
do this still once a week, that'd be awesome.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Like I'm hoping to vlog when I'm out there as well. So I'll still
Oh
be
yeah, yeah,
connected to
yeah.
shit. So we'll do it, man. We'll do it.
Awesome,
Like
bro.
that is part of it.
All right, awesome, bro. Well, all right, well, let's get into it, man.
And there's
Well,
a good. Sorry, man. Isn't there a few good fights around that time?
I think so. I mean, like what you got March. There's a couple of fights we're going to talk about in London. We got the big announcement from the UFC, John Jones and whatnot. So we got a lot to talk about,
Okay,
bro.
we might as well just roll. Let's roll. Let's roll.
Let's roll
And
into it.
action.
Well, I say we get into the UFC stuff. There was some ONE FC fights. I think there was a Bellator announcements. But let's get into the UFC. The biggest news, right? The biggest news I think the UFC
Oh
this
my
week
God.
has to be Francis
The
Ngannou
biggest
is
division.
they let him go. Oh, I don't know. They part ways, should I say? And John Jones versus Cyril Gane
Yeah.
for the heavyweight championship in March. I mean, fuck, that's big. Like that's big
That
news.
was leaked news as well. You see how it was leaked?
I didn't see. I heard about it. Yeah, T-Mobile messed up or something, right?
Yeah, they were just like, oh, let's just change the dials and we'll just change the. Oh shit! And then, and
Oh,
then someone took photos, and then people were like, oh, is it photoshopped and so on? And no, this is legit. And people verified, and then the event. What was the event? Fight night that just came on last night. I guess because of all that news, Dana had to get ahead of it and be like, yeah, it's official.
yeah.
And so yeah.
I
Oh my
mean,
gosh.
the way, I mean, okay, we'll get into that fight in just a second. Just fantasizing, we're talking about
Yeah, yeah.
heavyweight champion of the world in UFC. Like, he was probably would have been a very dominant champion. He was a scary motherfucker. It would have been
Absolutely.
so exciting to see what Jones can do against him. The way Dana put it, I mean, obviously they just couldn't reach agreements, I guess. But Dana just kind of put it in a way where it's like he wants to get paid more to fight less caliber fighters. He doesn't want to fight on the highest level and he wants to, if you're gonna fight on a certain higher level, he wants to get paid a certain amount. So he didn't want to fight on the same caliber of fighter, but for more money, right? And some people are just twisting those words and basically saying that he
Is
ducked
it?
Jones. I don't think he ducked Jones. I think that's a silly thing to say. I just think he just wanted to get paid, didn't it? I mean, he's been talking about this for a while, right? He wanted to get paid bucks, and apparently I don't know, they couldn't get onto terms with
He
it.
didn't
But
get it.
what do you think about him
That's interesting.
leaving the UFC? What do you think about, the heavyweight championship? Like him, is it more exciting that he's out? I don't think so, but like it would have been better if he was in. Where do you think he can go? Like his opportunities, boxing, PFL, like he wants to get paid, really. Or I don't
I
know if it's
mean,
about pay, but I think he wants a flexible contract where it's like, let me do what I want to do.
right. It's good that you mentioned that because that was my point as well. Well, there's many points about it. One, I think that's probably one of the biggest losses in the biggest division um, in combat sports, period. Because we all know heavyweight is the pinnacle of any combat sport. We want to see those big dudes smack each other around, knock each other out, excite us. Casual veterans are like, that's what we want to see. It's always been that way. So to have someone like him with all of that power and his story and um, the marketing potential of him, and then just let him go because they couldn't, one side didn't want to parlay with the other one, is quite sad, to be honest. It's very, very sad. From what I heard from Francis's mouth himself, right, is that he said that he felt like the UFC's contracts is going to hold him captive and he's unable to do anything. He wasn't happy with the term, the contract length, and just the terms, lots of things, insurance, health care, important things like this. I just saw a video about Stephan Bonner, rest in peace, and the YouTuber was kind of speculating like, the fact that Stephan Bonner had to go and fight wrestling, even though he'd finished UFC and he'd injured himself, right? And then he had to go and seek help through COVID. And that, I don't know if you've seen the videos about that, but it was a bit crazy. They didn't want to help him. He wasn't vaccinated and so on. That's not the point of it. The point is that there is no healthcare in the UFC contracts for these fighters, right? And that's part of what Ngannou was one of the points that he had about the contract, which is very important because people, it's CTE. People are getting head trauma. People are getting damaged. after that, you and I both know we hate the fact that veterans have to go and fight somewhere else and possibly, provide for their families and put their life on the line. We hate that. So yeah, I think he definitely has a point to look after himself. And I'm sure, like, from what I've heard, it's been PFL, it's been Bellator, maybe bare knuckles. I don't know, but I've heard a lot about PFL being interested in him, and I really hope he gets a fair shake. And it's deserved. It's deserved. It's a shame that we lost him. Maybe he fights Tyson and gets his fuck you money. Who knows?
I mean, that's
But
what it
whatever it
would be
is,
amazing for him, yeah, if he does go into
yeah.
boxing or something. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I think I don't know about other sports leagues and football and basketball and American football. I don't know what
NFL,
happened to
NHL, they give you health care. You have insurance.
Okay.
They get it in it. They get it in it. Just
It's a shame. I
just answer
mean,
that
I
question.
think Dana once said that fighting in the UFC or MMA is an opportunity, it's not a career. Like, I have a career at Dow
Right.
Jones, so I have my monthly
Right.
salary, I have a pension scheme, I have healthy. But in the UFC or in MMA, you're fighting. I think maybe he meant UFC.
Contracted.
It's an opportunity, right? You come in, you could become a superstar and make certain amount of money, and then whatever you do with your money, that's on you. You should invest it and be smart, whatever. But it's not a career. It's like after you're done fighting. It's like, it's not like there's like, I'm trying to say, it's like there is nothing more that you could do once you're done fighting. You left the company.
Right.
I'm trying to say. So I don't know. It's a difficult one. But I think while you're on contract, I swear you're on healthcare when you're on contract, right? Is that? I don't know. No details about
That's
it.
what he said. He said that it's not part of it. Like, and he said that it's kind of like you're contracted, but then you're a contractor, but at the same time you can't go and do your own thing. Like, if Conor couldn't have gone and fought Mayweather if Dana didn't co-sign it. You know what I'm saying? That's just, but at the same time you're a contractor, right? So it's like, I don't really have much rights, but then at the same time I can't go do my own shit because of the contract. Like, what?
Oh man, it's going to be one of those questions in the
But
future.
It's business.
Yeah, business is business. Yeah, business is business. Listen,
business. Like,
it always is. I mean, I think it's going to be in one of those situations where it's like, what if? Because say if we're going to get into it, John Jones beats Cyril Gahn, we're going to be like, oh, what if it was Francis Ngannou? What would have happened?
What if?
That what if's going to come up again. We've
had so many. It's very fucked up.
Yeah.
We've had so many fights that we just missed out on, like Anderson versus GSP and many others, like
Khabib, Tony, Fedor, Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Right. Fucking DC versus Brock Lesnar.
That one as well. Yeah. So many.
Right. Yeah. So many.
So many what ifs. I mean, it's a shame. Francis as well. I just didn't see that happening. I thought they would have just figured something out. But yeah, that's a shame. The heavyweight champion of I mean, what other sport does this? I mean, no other, like heavyweight champion, like, to let the champion go, to be like, all right, we'll go do what you want to do. Like, where else do they do that?
No, nowhere else, because the UFC's done it many times. Look at Couture. Didn't Couture leave and go, right? And he was heavyweight champion. Then he left the belt and went to Pride. Am I right?
Did he and come back? Or I remember
something like that.
I remember Brock Lesnar beat him for the belt. I remember that. I don't know if it was.
Yeah. But like, okay, I'm not gonna say for sure, but it's one of those dudes, either like Pat Miletich or Randy Couture, one of those guys. They were heavyweight champion and they left the belt and went somewhere else. Maybe it was Andre Arlovsky a long time ago. So it's a UFC, man.
It's a few things. I mean, yeah, it's a few. GSP, like the last belt he won, I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, maybe it's different, but it's such a it's so crazy to just think the heavyweight champion of the world, one of the most dominant fighters, one of the most scariest fighters.
Yeah.
He's like, he's gone. And like, I'm sure the UFC tried to do what they could do, but then they probably got to a point as well where it's like, well, just fuck off then if you don't want to work for us, and fight somewhere else. See if you can get paid somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, go.
Well, like you said, true. But like you said, it's not about the money, right? The money, apparently they wanted to offer him the highest amount
as a heavyweight,
whatever. Right. But if those terms that we spoke about with the healthcare and the insurance and Like if those benefits aren't there, then that doesn't really weigh up to it, does
Yeah,
it?
I
Because
guess so. I guess so. But don't, I mean, like, don't forget as well. Like, I mean, again, this is my opinion. I feel like the marketing, the popularity from UFC is second to none. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I will probably
yeah,
try and watch him at PFL or Bellator, ONE FC,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I won't prioritize it. I mean, that's me, as you know what I mean. I mean, I don't have
yeah,
all the time in the
yeah,
world. I love fights, but there's some more hardcore people in there that's gonna think. But bro, like, I mean, like the popularity of UFC, I mean, that's where you want to be as well. Like,
Mhm.
that's another benefit as well. Like, but
Absolutely.
hey,
Well,
listen, if he goes into boxing, I mean, thing is, I think he would have made more money if he was a
yeah.
UFC champion and went into boxing and fought Tyson. He might make less money, but he
Uh-huh.
still probably
Uh-huh.
make a bunch of millions if he just fought Tyson anyway, if he fights Tyson anyways. If you can get that Tyson fight, then maybe you can make some fuck you money. However, I reckon he would have got some like fuck you money if he was heavyweight champion of UFC and then
Mm.
fought Tyson. That would have been a different level. Because now it just might be like, yeah, he's the former heavyweight champion. He left. I mean, yeah, he's still got thing, but there's not going to be that UFC engine to push promotion from Ngannou's side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah. When you mention it that way, the engine, definitely. But I think as alone, because he didn't lose, he didn't get beat up, like his stock is still pretty high. Like he left with his head held high kind of thing. And I think whatever he does now, he's still gonna earn more money than he would in the UFC. Or if not, with the term that he wants,
Yeah, I
right?
guess so. I guess so. But
And it's
like the audience, we
mm,
like stories and all that sort of shit. Casuals like
yes,
stories. It would have
yes,
been UFC versus
yes,
boxing, UFC champion
100%,
versus boxing.
100%,
Like that's the story that's
100%.
not going to be there anymore. It's going to be former
Yeah, yeah,
MMA
yeah.
fighter, former UFC champion, but
For
it's
sure.
not like
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
UFC versus boxing. That's what people
Yeah,
love. I
I
mean,
see.
that was the thing
I
with Conor
see.
and thing. I mean, they were probably very popular, but it was that UFC MMA
Yeah.
versus boxer type thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I guess it just depends on who his marketing team is, who his promotion team is, where he goes to, how they can, not necessarily do better than the UFC in that, but at least push him in a different stratosphere that, is going to be bountiful and full of abundance for him. And maybe we won't miss that UFC narrative. We'll have to wait and see. It's pretty exciting regardless. It's sad, but he stood his ground and he fucking should do.
Good for him. I mean, good. I mean, last week we were talking about Muhammad Ali being a hero in what I mean, it's different levels. Don't get me wrong, but just willing to
Yeah.
give up the championship, the belt for
Oh
something.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
again.
yeah. So,
Again,
but
yeah,
different
yeah.
levels, but it's all kind of from the
Yeah,
same base. But what about the fight then? All right, let's get into the exciting stuff. Like we got
yeah,
Jones coming
yeah.
back finally, as finally first of all
Well,
he's coming back, and
well,
well, I
well.
mean, it's supposed to be booked. We'll see what happens. But against Cyril Gane, I mean, that's a good opponent, bro. That's a good heavyweight opponent. I think that's a tough one because my guy moves like a middleweight. He's
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, that wrestling, I mean, Ngannou was able to control him wrestling wise. So now Jones might be like, yo, well, my strategy is to wrestle this dude up, right? And win. And that could be
Yeah,
a big
definitely.
possibility that can happen. But on
It,
the striking, we've
Go on.
seen Jones. Like, he don't give a fuck. He will strike you. Now, heavyweight's different. He don't care. We've seen him, bro. Like, we've seen him come out to Shogun Hua at his first title fight with a flying knee against a freaking striking master. You know what I mean? Jones has shown like, it's crazy how he wasn't even a striker and he came out and just started striking with expert strikers and beating them at their game and whatnot. So he might
but,
do it. He might
but
go for the striking. What do you think about that fight?
well, a lot of things. Riddle me this first of all. Do you know what Cyril Gane's reach is in comparison to Jones, by any chance?
No idea, but I
Any
bet you
idea?
Jones is more, right? Must be.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking like the striking wise is definitely going to be very tricky. And you're right, Jones will be best to go to wrestling. To get to the wrestling against, remember Jones is new to this weight, right? We don't know how if he's gonna climatize right, acclimate in terms of like cardio, right? Um, Cyril Gane is obviously a bigger guy naturally, right? And he's gonna drop down. Yeah. We don't know how Jones is gonna wrestle with somebody of that size yet. We haven't seen it happen yet. So there's those factors. Like he can wrestle, yeah, but can he wrestle against somebody with that size? It's different things. We don't know. Is he going to be able to do it with the cardio and be as smooth as he was, or is he going to change this? we don't know. Whereas Sagan, that's natural weight for him, like you said, and he moves
Mhm.
in that natural kind of realm. So it's so many different factors that you can't really calculate. You know, it can't really be sure. But
Yeah, true.
what
You're right.
will be is gonna be a fucking gonna be a tornado.
It's gonna be good, bro. It's gonna be. It's exciting. Yeah, look, he's
a
been. The thing is,
tornado.
like he's been putting on this weight legitly, properly for the last couple of
Yeah,
years.
two
Doing the
years.
heavy
Yeah.
lifting and whatnot. It wasn't just like, oh, my next fight's gonna be heavyweight. I see you in 6 months. It's like years. So I feel like he's done it smartly to be like, all right,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you just mentioned, so I'm able to make this natural, make this
Mm,
normal to me. You know what I
mm,
mean? So
mm, mm,
I think it's going to be exciting to finally have him back, a new element back in 2023. John Jones, we've missed him for the last couple of years.
mm.
Just to see him back in his element. Listen, man, if he becomes heavyweight champion, pound for pound best, what can you say? What can you say? Like pound for pound best. I know there's asterisks and stuff because of the thing, but put that aside because no steroids or microgram or picogram taught him how to do a side kick or taught him how to do a hip throw. Like, let's be real. Like, I'm trying to say, yes, there's asterisks. However, none of that stuff taught him how to fight and get the range and whatnot. Bro, pound for pound best if he wins the heavyweight champion. Like the best, man. You gotta be the GOAT of all time. For now, in this era, it has to
It's
be.
hard. It's hard. It's a hard one to say. Given these loud asterisks that he's had over the years, it's like Dillashaw. You know, it's hard. It's hard to look at him the same way. You know, it's hard. But I understand what you're saying. But it's just hard to look past it and put him up there with the top of it. You know, against all these other dudes who has had no issues at all.
That's true. I
It's
mean,
hard.
but it's the same for Silver. Like, I look with Silver, yes, he broke his leg,
Yeah,
right? And if you broken your leg, bro, man, I mean, I've never broken a bone, thank God. But I would take
yeah.
steroids if they told me that you got to take steroids to fix that bone or whatnot. So, like with Silver, it was that situation. But pull it anyway.
T Silver's
Anything
one,
after
man.
that was a bit hard. But before that, I mean, he's a master, and you
Yeah.
can't take that away from him. I would never.
With Silver, nah. Like for me, like he's the only one I feel like gets a pass because of it was that. It was for recovery, right? I guess that makes me like biased or conflicted or whatever. But the point is he did it. It happened one time, and it was never anything like what Jones has been multiple pops for all these different crazy things. Just one singular incident. So I feel with Silver, um, I don't think it goes in the same line, in my opinion. And he wasn't even champion at that point.
Mm, yeah.
So
Well, I mean, it's such a fun fight though. March
for
what? What
sure,
they did they say
absolutely.
the date?
March 4th, man.
Oh shit! Is that in London?
No, 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 no. I'm sure I
Isn't
saw March 4th on the on Gone and Jones.
Where's
It
that? That's
wouldn't be March.
Vegas. No, it's going to be in Vegas. It's going to be Vegas.
It
So
would be in Vegas. Yeah,
Usman and Leon Edwards is still going to be in London, right?
that one's like the 14th or something like. Yeah, something like this one. But it's
And I
still not
believe
official. Like Leon's saying, I'm fighting Usman, but then all the media is saying, oh, his arm is still messed up. But no one's officially come out and said rubber stamped it. It's definitely on
because I
yet.
think on that same card, I believe in London. And if they're
Mm.
doing this is a fucking good card, and you should go. Rafael Faziev versus Justin Gaethje on that card too. I believe it's co-main event. I believe so,
What?
and that's a fucking good fight.
Mm.
It's a really good fight. That's so exciting.
But I don't see Gaethje fighting in London unless he's fighting a London face opponent. I don't
I
see
mean,
that.
you would think that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't see
Maybe Faziev versus Gaethje is on the Ngannou and not Ngannou, sorry, Sorogan and Jones fight. That could be that one.
that makes more sense. Another thing I was thinking of as well, back to that one is John Jones, right? Yeah, back to that point. He put on all that size and weight, yeah, and with the guys that he might fight Ngannou. You remember that? That was always the potential idea that he was going to fight Ngannou at some point. Yeah. Now that's not happened, and he's built up all this size to fight somebody who's going to dance around. It's like, Ah, shit.
Yeah, but still, he needed to get up to that heavyweight. He needed, I guess,
Sure,
he wanted
sure.
to get up to heavyweight, like a good weight, and then feel comfortable with it, as you said, right? So, I reckon
Yeah,
he's in a
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
position. He
yeah.
done it correctly. I mean, it still be to his benefit.
Let's just see how he moves. That's what I
Mm.
want. I want to see. We obviously want to see how he moves. Yeah, you put on weight, great, yeah, but can you still transverse the same way that you did when you were in low weight? Is your gas tank gonna maintain all of that extra you got? Let's see. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. And
let's see.
also that I mean, he's got a great chin. He's shown that he's got a great chin, but that was at light heavyweight. Let's see what
That
happens
yeah,
with some heavyweight
let's see
hands.
what happens. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, oh man, I just can't say enough about that fight, man.
Freaking exciting, man.
Can't say enough about that fight. Looking forward to that one. All like that's made my week even better. I'd say.
I messed up today. I woke up and for some weird
Yeah,
reason I forgot about the fight and I immediately went on social media and I saw Francis versus Saragan. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? And then I just saw not Francis, sorry, Jones versus Saragan. I was like, what the fuck
yeah,
happened?
yeah,
And then I spoiled
yeah.
everything for myself and I saw the results for today's fights that we saw. But
Are you pigeon?
yeah,
You pigeon.
let's get into the fights though. I mean, there was some good fights, man. The first UFC fights for 2023 fight night.
Wait, hold it, hold it. Sorry. Okay, breaking news, right? It is UFC 286 March 18th, O2 Arena. Leon Edwards against Kamaru Usman is official.
All right. Well, I mean that, bro. You
Yeah.
should get tickets for that one. You should get tickets for that one. Yeah, that's a
Sorry,
good
man. Go
freaking
ahead.
card.
That is a
Um,
massive card. Go on.
should we get into this? So Strickland versus Amabov. So
Yeah. Go
obviously
on.
Strickland stood. He came in the last moment just because Cameron Gastelum had a injury. But that was a good
Wow.
fight, man. But good fun back and
That
forth
was a.
fight.
Oh
Sean
yeah.
Strickland was moving forward. He was putting more pressure. I guess he wanted to do that after the last fight. What do you think?
Yeah. That guy, man, he's quite stiff. He's very stiff,
And
and
he's
he's
up.
he's
I mean, he
quite
does block a little
yeah
bit, but he's up and he's up for fighting. But it doesn't. It wouldn't work against like it didn't against a Pereira, like great
yeah
striker in that sense. So that's
divisive.
why.
Yeah, yeah, he's very, very stiff, and he doesn't use a lot of tools. That's what it showed me. He definitely got looser. I was able to see the best of him in this fight, in comparison to the previous fights where the other opponent was a bit more pressuring him more faster or better. But he's super stiff, man. Super, super stiff. I thought I could see a knockout happening in that fight. I was surprised it didn't happen. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, they were tagging each other good. I mean, both ways. Yeah, but both of their
Yeah,
chins held up. And
yeah,
it was really a boxing fight. I mean, Amavov was
very
throwing a
much
lot
so.
of front kicks and leg kicks, a few of them anyway. But Strickland was purely just getting in with the boxing, fighting in the
1-2.
pocket, fighting in the clinch,
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
constant forward pressure, forward pressure.
You know what? Saying that on the forward pressure, because I was watching the fight with someone, and I was explaining to them the fact that he had come in last minute because they were a non-fight fan. I was like, look, last minute he's come in, he's 10 pounds overweight, right? And I said to my friend, if we see that there is, a strength advantage for Strickland, then you can say possibly that the weight advantage was there. It made a difference. And what I began to notice is Strickland would kind of tie him up and walk him back to the cage. Did you see that?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
would walk him back, and I'm thinking, okay, so sometimes it doesn't make a difference, but I think it did. I think that those 11 pounds made a difference. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a weight class, right? Normally 10 pounds is a weight
Yeah,
class difference, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like it was. I mean, you have to give it to for
Mm,
Amavov for taking the fight
for taking
still.
the fight. Yeah.
Considering that weight class, knowing that he ain't gonna reach that weight,
Yeah.
and he put up a great fight and he had great movement at the
He did.
beginning. I mean, of course, it's a 5 round fight. It's his first
Yeah.
5 round fight. Strickland's had a couple 5 round
Ah,
fights, so he was way more
yes.
experienced. He just came off a 5 round
Mm,
fight. Strickland's a
Yes, he
madman
did.
and loves to fight. I feel like Amabov really
Yes,
like,
he is.
stepped up and
Uh,
was like, yeah, let's go. And he went the full 5 rounds. I thought
mm,
that was a great step up for him.
but
I don't think he loses any stocks. Strickland, again, like with that, chin up style, I don't think, with the
mm,
top class middleweight fighters, like we saw what Pereira
yeah.
did. That's a different story. You know what I mean? He's fun and he's awesome. He's fun. He's awesome to listen to and whatnot. But there's levels to it when you were going to that higher level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you, and I was saying the same thing yesterday. I'm just like, okay, he beat this guy, 10 pounds up. You made a good point. He's obviously experienced 5 round fights before and so on, and he just kind of wore him down with the same technique. But again, like somebody who's got more diversity, or they have wrestling, or they're more trickier. They're gonna mess up his timing, and it's gonna be a wrap. So I think I feel like he might get exposed as he fights the creme de la creme.
But he did like Pereira, right? I mean, he already got exposed in
But the
one.
rest,
If he
the
fixes it,
rest,
that's a different
yeah,
story.
true, 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 true. I mean, the people ahead of him, right,
Mm.
who are like those people that are more skillful, I think he will be even more exposed. you know,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what I
fun
mean.
fight. I'm glad that
A
fight
good fight
happened.
though.
The
Sure,
the
for sure.
co-main event was Dan Ige versus Damon Jackson.
Dan
Dan Ige was on
Ige.
fire, boy. He was on
Oh, he was
fire.
angry. He was angry.
And very emotional at the end as well. But he was on fire, man. Those strikes, the power shots, the speed, the in and out. Very
Too
man.
much.
He was awesome.
Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. I haven't seen him fight that much for a while, but
I think he was
I know he
coming
did.
on a losing streak.
Yeah, he did. So I guess he made up what he needed to back in the win column for him. So
And I
yeah,
think he
man,
got fifty
it's
thousand dollar
exciting.
bonus. And there was a beautiful little
Oh, he
left
got
hook
bonus.
that he connect with.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
really
dirty,
good. He
man.
was on fire, man.
That was sleek. That was sleek. Yeah, I look forward to seeing him fight for sure. Look forward to seeing him fight. What about the next ones, man? Did
The
you see the
next
other
one
ones?
I saw. So who was it? It was
Yeah.
Roman Kovalov versus man, I can't say this guy's name.
The guy with the afro.
Was it Afro? No.
The Russian guy, the afro, no?
Yes, him, yeah. Versus his
Okay.
name Kopilov versus that's Kopilov, right?
Right.
Versus
I
I can't say
think
the other
so.
guy's name. Serrano, Paheli Serrano or
I,
something.
I I
You
think
need
that
to
fight
jump
just
on, bro, and correct
ended.
my reading, bro. You're just leaving me here to
I think,
to try.
I, I think that fight just ended because I got it in the background, and now because the fight on now is Ige, right? The one you talk about is the one before.
Yes, yeah. He won with a body
Yeah,
kick.
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Okay,
he's
okay.
really good at throwing feints and whatnot. It was a really good fight, and then just kind of taking him out with that body kick was pretty awesome.
That was nasty. That was fucking nasty. Yeah. No, that was a good fight. I must say that was the one I watched the least of. Yeah, yeah. I think I saw maybe the clip of the end, and that was it. Like, how did it lead up to that knockout?
I think what he's great at is throwing a lot of feints. Do you know what I mean? Like his feints are really good. He was
Okay.
throwing really good jabs. I believe he's southpaw, so he's connecting a lot with the jabs. And it's just the fakes, man. Like he makes you react with those feints, and then boom, hit with the body shot. The I feel it was the right kick to the body, the liver, and just kind of shut him down from there. TKO from there.
Definitely missed that one. Damn. Okay. I,
That
I
was
missed that one, but I
good.
did see. Go on.
Yeah, before that was the women's fight.
Yeah,
Kathleen
I
Ferreira
saw that one.
versus Raquel Pennington. She's on a five fight winning streak now.
Wow.
Pennington. So that was a good
Is
little.
she?
Yeah. I think that's 5 fights now.
Wow. Yeah, she turned it around since she lost to Amanda, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
She turned
she's
it around.
always like up and down sort of thing. But yeah, like when I say up and
You're
down, I
right.
feel like she's up, then might lose against the top and come back down and win a bunch and come back up. Like she's on that roll
Right.
again.
Because she is because she beat Irene Aldana in 2019. Then she beat Marion Renault 2020. Then she beat Macy Chiasson. Then she beat Aspen Lad. Yeah. She's doing it. She's doing it. She's doing it. But against the top. I don't know, man. I don't know if she has enough. Great fighter, but I don't know if she has enough against the tops.
I mean, it's Amanda,
What do you
isn't it?
say?
Like Amanda's always like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she needs to change division. I think so. Or she needs to come up with a different game plan to fight Amanda.
I mean, for sure. I mean, what about, has she fought, has she gone down before? I can't remember if she used to fight at,
Don't know, you know.
is it
Don't know.
flyweight? And if she's ever fought, what's her name, man? Shevchenko. I don't think so, right?
That wouldn't be a good fight, man. You know it wouldn't be a good fight. She hasn't fought her, no, but it. No, I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, that was a good fight, man. She worked hard. She worked her ass off for that fight. That was a good bout by
Definitely. Well, look, another performance of the night was, and someone I'm excited about is Umar Nurmagomedov versus
oh my God. You know
Velosos.
what was brilliant about that? The fact when he asked him, "Oh, tell me your handiwork. I don't know how this happened."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not sure how this happened. I'm like, because you're in flow state, friend, and shit just goes.
It was, bro, that was again just a statement, man. I mean, these guys, man, they're just undefeated and just dominant, like, you know. And it was just that he threw the knee through the left hand, knocked him out, and even he was saying,
Yeah.
"I apologize," and he felt bad, right? He was like, yeah, and he's good. Thing is, okay, before we get on that, he's really good with his kicks, his front leg kicks,
very good,
deep, and all that stuff. Yeah.
I was like, I remember seeing it and thinking to myself, like, all these guys after Habib, they're just hybrids of him. They're just different.
Yeah.
They're very, very different. You know, and like you said, you see him kicking, then he's got the wrestling threat, and he's got strength in his hand. It's like,
so it's scary,
whoa.
isn't it?
It's very scary.
Like Khabib, almost as crazy as it sounds, Khabib is easier to handle. It's like, it's just the wrestling. Like his striking's there, but the wrestling doesn't make. With these guys, it's like, fuck, man, these guys teeping me in my face. How the hell is he supposed to be a wrestler? But he said he even felt bad. He goes, I didn't realize he was knocked out before I hit him. It was like I felt bad about that. I didn't want to, hurt him or whatnot, which was quite humble and nice of him or whatnot. But fuck, it's a statement, man. I mean, he's got to break into the top 10 now. I mean, I don't think he's even in the top 10. I don't think so. Let me pull it up.
People don't want him, man. People don't want him. I think he said it himself. They don't want him. They don't call out for him.
He could be like, he could be like Islam, where it's like, well, how can, like, Islam for the longest time is like, well, how am I supposed to fight a top 10 if no one wants to fight me? And then one day becomes a champion, right? It could be something like that, man.
And then he's just gonna be like Genghis Khan, just sitting on his throne, just like unchallenged.
Man, he's
because,
just,
nobody has any balls to fight.
Crazy, man. These guys are so fun to watch, man. It's so exciting when it's just like, can they really be as dominant as, like, because it's not just Khabib, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if it's just one fighter from one area of the world or one camp, you're like, all right, well, he's just a special motherfucker, like a John Jones. But when you got everyone from that camp just being that dominant, you're like, what the fuck? Like, that's different level, man. Everyone.
They must be in different kinds of algae out there. different protein, just different way of life.
Different way of life. That's it, bro. Different way of life. That is it. Think about it, man. It is just not. It's like those Brazilians coming from the favelas. It's a different kind of life. It's just training. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just training. It's just discipline. And, these guys, like, they're very religious as well. And then being religious is a form of discipline too. You have to be very disciplined in that as well. I think discipline is the key word here, like, to these guys. I really think that's what it is. It's not just, a group of ghetto kids or poor kids and they train all day. They also have that ultimate discipline in training and in life. Because you could be ghetto, but not have the discipline in life. And I feel like the religion gives them that discipline in life as well. So they're not wandering off doing other shit. It's just pure discipline. That's it. You know what I mean? And life is set and they leave everything into God's hands and that's it, man. It's a different mindset, bro. Discipline. It's crazy.
Absolutely. for sure. And as well as that, you know, you got to look at that people that are more advantaged, allegedly advantaged, right? They just take it for granted, you know. And you got these killers out here in caves wrestling bears you know, and there's a lot of them, and you know, iron sharpens iron, right? You got all these guys with you supporting you, right? You know, you got a lot of people in with all these distractions. They have their phones and whatnot, and they're singular. They don't have another person to let's go and do this. So again, it talks. It goes back to what we were saying last week about having good people around you to help and push you forward. You know, and they
Yeah,
have it.
and you got and also, you know, like I said, from the religious perspective, bro, no drugs,
Mm,
no alcohol,
hmm.
no
Yeah,
women. Like when like
right.
they get married early, right?
They get
And
married early.
it's
Yeah,
a
that's
side,
it.
like they don't keep their family lives
Yeah,
involved in this. It's like there's no
yeah,
hoes
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
slide into their DMs, which I'm pretty sure there are. But I was listening to a story of someone who was saying he owns one of the gyms in Dubai that I possibly might
Mm,
join, but I'm struggling to find a gym. Anyway, he was saying
mm,
that, you know, when Khabib was here and he was going to do like a seminar or something at the gym or whatever. I don't know what it was. They were in the mall and they were
mm,
walking. And yes, in Dubai, man, you get a lot of hotties around, like a lot of them. And bare,
mm,
you
mm,
know, South Khabib walking around, bare hotties just, you know, from all over. And he's just got his head, he's looking straight.
mm,
Like they're not distracted
mm,
by that stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Like his eyes were
mm,
forward.
mm,
He was saying
mm,
that when he got to the gym, the first thing he told a brother was like, listen, before we start, I need to pray. Like it wasn't prayer time, but he needed to pray like just an extra one just to clear his mind and get over any sort of anxiety or whatever it is. But he didn't, like I say, like, and he's just focused, you know what I'm trying to say? And you know, he would,
mm.
like I said, he wouldn't even look up at any of the hot women. I mean, this is what the story is. I mean, I don't know, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
you know, what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's just that form of discipline, like, and the religion kind of
Mm,
guides him in that sort of way. And I just feel like all of these are almost on that level where it's like, how do you beat that? You know what I mean? I mean, how do you? I remember Andrew Tate saying that, like, I mean, whether you like it or not, but he was saying that when he was commenting on Conor versus Khabib, it's like, well, Conor, you got the money, you got the glitz, the glams, the girls, the cars, you got this, you got Khabib training. God, training God, training God. You can't be that. That's it. That's it. There is nothing else. There's nothing else distracting this
mm,
man. You cannot beat
right.
that. And it's almost true,
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guys, man. They're
yeah,
mad.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Yeah, when you think of it that way, you know, it's they just yeah, distractions are everything. You know, distractions are everything. Maybe if Connor just had the two things in his life, maybe he'd be a different person at
I
this
think
point.
he
We don't
did
know.
at one point. When he was the man, I think it was
Yeah,
just
he
training
had
and
less.
focus, and that's it. And
Yeah,
maybe all other
yeah.
shit kind of messed him up or whatnot. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Connor, because Connor's obviously expert, but he was an expert as at mind warfare. And maybe that was his
Mm,
advantage. You know what I mean? Maybe, yes, he's an amazing striker and a fighter and whatnot. Maybe it wasn't on that level, but because of his expert mind warfare, it
mind
made
warfare.
him even a better fighter because he made people emotional and made them make mistakes. I mean, that was big
Ooh,
part of his game plan as well. I mean, it didn't work on Khabib and it didn't work on Mayweather, but it worked
ornate.
on Nate. Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's just different levels, man. Just different levels.
Mm,
And I'm
it's
excited
very
again to
interesting.
see we got
Mm.
Islam in there. I'm excited to see Umar. We got, you know,
Oh shit.
in Bellator, like I said,
Saeed?
they're all over the place. It's exciting. I'm excited to see them, man.
It is one of them called Saeed, yeah?
Saeed, I
Saeed.
believe he's
He's
in
one of
one
the best.
FC. He's the one who won.
Okay, yeah, okay. And then the one in Bellator, what's his name?
Usman. No, is it? No. Yes.
No.
Usman.
Usman.
Usman. Yes, yes.
Usman. Yeah, Usman. Because there's Umair, Usman, Saeed, Islam, I guess. And
There's
then
loads of them,
maybe
bro.
some other guys. Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
loads of
The
them.
one in the
There's loads of
cave.
them. I
The one in the
think
cave with the billy goats.
I know we kind of went like forward a little bit, but just quickly, I
Yeah.
think they've booked Bellator has booked a card in March, Usman versus Benson Henderson for the lightweight belt on that side. So that'll be exciting. That'll be something fun to watch. Benson Henderson as well. Usman, you know, again, I'm following all of them guys. So that's exciting. But yeah, with the UFC, did
I
you
already
watch?
know
I didn't
Usman's
watch
gonna
any
win.
of the prelims. Did you catch any of the prelims? I didn't, to be honest with you.
Mm-mm. I saw oh hold on.
Anything good
Mm,
or worth talking about? I
there
just didn't have the
was
time today.
all right. I saw Javid Bashharat against Mateus Mendonca. That was a good
Okay.
fight by decision. Um, that
Okay.
was and I saw Claudio Rivera versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan. That guy was like, what did he say again? He said, he said he won the fight, yeah. And he said, oh man, he shouted out some Allah Akbar. He won the fight.
One of those ones.
Yeah, he won by it's knockout. You didn't see that fight?
I didn't catch the prelims, no.
Ah, so Claudia was okay. I remember you said Claudia was a fast start, lots of leg kicks, Brazilian, and then the Abdul guy, he just like I think they were saying in the commentary that he's normally a firecracker and goes a bit wild, right? And he was a bit more controlled in this fight, and he pieced him up in the exchange, and he caught him with a left, and he kind of shook, and he kind of threw him back, and then he just weighed in on him and took his time, and then one of them went for the guard, and that was it. He was down, and then they said to him like, you had a couple losses because you rushed in, and he said, yeah, I've had to like change that. I'm a veteran fighter. Like I'm not some bullshit guy. Like I know what I'm doing, so I've changed things around, and I'm back in the win column. So yeah, that was a good fight, man.
Also, because my plan is after this, after we talk, I'm gonna try and catch the prelims and whatnot. Just I'll try. I'll definitely check that
Watch
one
that
out.
one. Watch that one. Watch that one and Javid Bashharat against Mateus Mendonca. That was a good fight. It was just a very classy display, you know? He's a
Okay.
very that guy, he's underrated. He was saying he wants to be in the top 15. Like, come on, guys, like let's fight, you know? I
Yeah.
need to be fighting these guys. So anyway, keep that one in mind too.
All right. Cool. Cool. I'll take a look at that. Cool. All right. Off the UFC onto the ONE FC. Now they had a great card on Friday, which premiered. Well, not premiered, but which was showed on Amazon Prime. I watched mostly
Mm.
highlights, to be honest with you, man. Again, that's one I couldn't miss. But there was a few good fights, few good names. Gary Tonin won by Kimura. I mean, expert grappler from that perspective. You got Stamp Fairtex. She went up. I think her opponent changed. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a Brazilian lady, but it changed to another Thai lady called Anna Jorunsak. Stamp Fairtex is obviously champion. Is she champion? I believe she's the champion. Yeah. Wartang, just doing what Wartang does. He's so
That
that
was
guy's an Iron
dangerous.
Man. He fought Jidu Yibu from China. But my guy just takes beatings. Like he loves it, man. He loves to take shots, and he's just like he's a
Yeah.
beast,
He
bro.
eats it. He eats it. He eats it. I think that feeds his ambition.
But he's a bad motherfucker, man. Wartang's just
So
scary
scary.
dude, man.
So scary.
Man, such a great fighter.
Powerful.
Angla and Sang versus
I saw him
Roberto
bust him
Go.
up, didn't
Yeah, ground and pound and
he?
just took
I
him
saw that one.
out.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Myanmar. You got Mikey Mutameti versus I can't pronounce his name, but Gan
The grappler.
Tumor. Yeah, I can't say that surname. But you saw that leg
Huh?
lock though. We're talking about that leg lock.
That made no sense.
The
That made
Mikey
no
lock.
sense.
Like Mikey does this thing where he hugs your foot with his head. So he does this thing where
Mm.
he gets you in a leg lock position and whatnot, but he hugs your foot with his face and his head, so you can't get it loose. And he twisted my guy's knee left, right, and center. I would have tapped like 20 minutes ago. And my guy's just
That made no
rolling around,
sense.
man, just crazy.
That made no sense. Like his quad strength must be like One Punch Man level because that's the only way the ligaments didn't pop, or maybe they did. I don't know, but like he didn't tap.
That
Insane,
that was.
insane,
I don't know, man. I don't know how,
insane.
man. That shit, anything with the legs, man, really just get me, man. I'm like, just choke me out. Like, at least I could tap with a choke and whatnot. I go to sleep.
I
But with
fall asleep.
joints and especially the legs, it's like, oh
Yeah,
man, one little pop, just I
yeah.
hate it, bro. But again, I love ONE FC that they do these like jiu-jitsu championships and so on. No, you got
Yeah,
Super Lek,
super spicy.
Muay Thai, flyweight world champion. He won by knockout, I believe. If I saw that correctly. Yeah, he won by knockout or TKO. You had Super Bon, who went up against how do I say this? Chingiz Alavok, and he got knocked out, man. I saw that. This Chingiz, I'm not familiar with, but put on the pace, man. And connected with the right shot. I think he knocked down Super Bon 3 times in the first round, but the last shot just knocked him out, man. So he put on a great freaking. Was it the first round? I believe it was the first round. Just put on a great pace and just knocked him out.
Because I only saw the highlights of what you gave me. So I just remember the Dan Ige one. Oh yeah, that was nasty. Yeah, no, I only saw, I think, even the women's fight was pretty crazy as well.
The Muay Thai, yeah. They went back and forth.
Yeah. Now that I remember, because I'm looking at it now. Yeah, that was a good card. Like I wish I'd seen the last fight. Was it worth it?
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, I need to make time. There's so many fights. I'm not gonna lie, right? There's so many fights. They show like it's just so much to watch. I'm not gonna lie, there's so much to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to sit. And don't forget, each card is around 4 or 5 hours long. UFC, ONE FC, so long. It just takes up your whole day. So I'm just watching highlights. I'm skimming through the fights and whatnot. But ONE FC, like, listen, if you like striking and high level striking, man, I don't know why you wouldn't watch ONE FC and watch the Muay Thai and watch the kickboxing. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, look, I know I love and respect boxing. It's a historical sport, but man, from a striking perspective, man, just the Muay Thai, like the way it's just different. It's so different. I just don't understand how it doesn't get the strike. I mean, I'm so happy that ONE is doing what ONE does, because I feel like they're going to be pushing this in the US, and I think it's going to get big, man. I think it's freaking awesome.
I really hope so, because like you said, it's even their production and show reel and their just like the way that it's displayed, it's a lot more exciting than the UFC's, in my opinion. Like I feel like I'm being entertained a bit more, And then they bring them out and they have the fireworks and the belts there in the corner, and these little like touches. It's just like, it's just something different to look at. That's how I felt about Bellator when I watched Bellator for the first time, and they walk down the ramp and they have it's a little bit more of a like an event. It's like a spectacle almost. So ONE FC is incredible. Completely,
definitely
mind blown. I saw KSI.
Oh yeah, tell me. I didn't watch any of that stuff. So tell me. I saw something that MVP posted. I thought I saw something that MVP posted on KSI's movement. Like he's one of the knockdowns he did. But yeah, tell me. I didn't watch none of that stuff. How was that?
You know what? Like the highlights that I saw was pretty explosive. A lot of people were getting like knocked out, knocked down. There was a girls' fight that was scrappy. Some girl got knocked out. It was a lot. Like a lot of people they were ready to scrap, man. The KSI's fight lasted probably the first round. He knocked him out as well. So yeah, I'll send you a link. It's definitely worth watching just to see knockouts or just to see like scuffs, because was it KSI is very aggressive.
Is it big? I mean, do these things like, the thing about these YouTube fighters and Jake Paul and whatnot, they apparently they bring in a lot of money. Like, was it on that same sort of spectacle and whatnot?
I don't know about the ins and outs of the numbers. I didn't really. I looked lightly at it. I just saw the highlights and just saw it was like people getting beat up, and I just thought, so okay. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure at some point there'll be talk about it. Maybe they're gonna say, "Oh, they made all this money," and then you're gonna hear someone say, "Actually, they didn't." I don't know. So that's what's been happening recently. Jake Paul's one, he claimed it's this much and that much that they made pay-per-view, and someone debunks it very quickly afterwards. So I don't know, but it was interesting. It was on was it DAZN? Dead Zone?
The Zone, yeah.
The Zone, yeah, or Dead Zone, as I think he called it. Bob Arum.
Okay. Okay. Anything else been
Yeah,
going on
but
in
yeah,
the
good.
MMA world? Any other news
Hmm?
you want to throw out there?
I think we covered the bombshells. To be honest with you, man,
I
I think
think
we
so
did.
too, man.
I think we did. Not much my way now. Nope, not at the moment.
Cool, man.
Not at the moment.
I was just scrolling through to see if I
Yeah,
could find anything else, but I think that's
anything
it,
else
man. We
decent?
covered the most thing. Like I said, Bellator is gonna do Usman versus Benson Henderson. Um, that's it, man. Next week we got a nice big card, the UFC Brazil. I hope
Ah,
goes the way it should. Like a story will be good for Glover, sure, but we'll talk
yes,
about that next week.
yeah.
But we'll
I
see what
know,
happens
I
with
know, I
that.
know.
And then
Yeah,
that's it, man. I say we're back on track, man. I mean,
so
yeah, that's it, man. Shit, awesome, bro. Well, look, man, I'll leave it to it
man.
there. Thanks everyone again,
All
like for
right.
watching, subscribing, listening to the shorts and whatnot. Thank you both for putting those together. We'll be doing more of
Definitely,
those
man.
as
It's fun.
well. And man, shit, thanks for liking, subscribing. Please do subscribe if you like it, whatever, all that good shit. All right, we're out. Peace.
Get it done. Get it done. Get it
You get a
done.
picture.